The war in Gaza goes on. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that Israel has to win that war and get the hostages back. He said one of the reasons for the ceasefire with Hezbollah in Lebanon was to separate the fronts and isolate Hamas. So what does this mean for a possible truce in Gaza? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by Ramzi Ibrahim, who heads the Palestinian community here in Abuja. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you for having me today with you.
And first of all, let me just pass my condolences to you, because I understand you lost a relative just recently in that war in Gaza.
Thank you very much. Losing souls and humans every day and every hour.
So,
we thank God.
Yeah, well, my condolences. Whilst the ceasefire in Lebanon comes into effect, the conflict in Gaza rages on. Can a similar ceasefire be negotiated between Israel and Hamas in your assessment?
Sure, why not? Every single Palestinian look for peace, and every single Palestinian look to end this crazy massacre and crazy destruction. Over 415,000 housing units have been destroyed in Gaza. Over 34 hospitals are out of service in Gaza. Who want war? Everyone want peace. Everyone want to live in freedom.
Well, we know that the US President Joe Biden has been urging regional powers, Qatar, Egypt and Turkey, to try to restart talks and get momentum behind a deal to end the fighting in Gaza. Hamas itself has been saying that it's ready for a new round of talks. But the sticking point appears to be the release of the Israeli hostages.
This is the point from both sides. From the Israelis, he wants to believe that he will not stop the war without having the hostages be released. Also, the other part of the Palestinian strugglers want deploying the Israeli soldiers out of Gaza
before right, because they don't trust the Israelis.
Yes, definitely.
Right.
You cannot even trust them in Lebanon today after the agreement with the two governments. How will you trust them in the Gaza?
Yeah, but at least they've started the process in
and
Lebanon.
I believe.
If it has international backing, then there's a greater possibility. I mean, they've had ceasefires.
I believe
Gaza
the
before.
coming days will have good news for Gaza, inshallah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, even the Qataris, I mean, never mind the Israelis, the Qataris have said that they're no longer going to take part in the talks because that both Israel and Hamas don't appear to be keen to continue the talks.
In this matter, believe me, my dear brother, every single negotiation comes in the old past negotiation. It is Benjamin Netanyahu who destroyed that negotiation. They will come to closer points to agree, then the team which Benjamin Netanyahu sent for a dialogue, he will go back to Tel Aviv and discuss with Benjamin Netanyahu. Then he will rise up with a new point or a new things, requesting to destroy the last point. That is what Qatar, I believe, has stopped.
Well, Qatar said that when you go below the surface, that it seems like both Israel and Hamas are prepared not to significantly change their position to allow the hostages release to take place, which is presumably why months of negotiations to come up with a ceasefire deal with Gaza have simply frozen.
Well, it will be frozen definitely because of the way Benjamin Netanyahu is taking things to
but you keep saying Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yes.
The Qataris who are not supporting
the
Benjamin
Qataris
blame Hamas as well.
No, definitely I don't think they have blamed the Palestinians.
Well, they have. They said it's both Hamas and Israel.
Then what do you want from a person who is being totally destroyed.
Yeah, but Mr. Ibrahim.
Well, I don't speak from the negotiation part.
No,
of
I
the
understand.
Palestinians,
But I'm asking
I read
you
it
this
from my own view.
I'm asking you this as a Palestinian.
Yes.
You've lost even a relative recently,
Yeah.
which must be a very heartbreaking thing
Definitely.
to have to go
Definitely.
through. I mean, don't you think that if Hamas really care about the Palestinian people, let's forget about Israel for the moment, that in order to stop this suffering, at the beginning of this interview, you listed for us all the things that have been destroyed
Yeah.
in Gaza,
Yeah.
the number of people that have died and that continue to die and continue to suffer. If Hamas are really keen, why can't they say, look, let's just make this concession and let the whole world see that we have made that concession. Let's release the hostages.
Well, I believe the Egyptians yesterday spoke, and they give 5 points, a new roadmap of negotiation. And I believe this roadmap by the Egyptians, and of course with the Qataris, because the Prime Minister of Qatar was in Egypt
Right.
2 days ago, I believe this one will give a way. That's what I said. The closer days coming, it will carry out a good news to the Palestinians.
Do you know what's in that roadmap?
Yeah, 5 points.
Right.
First of all, given a few days ceasefire in Gaza to allow the Palestinians or Hamas to look around, because you cannot even determine where the hostage is. So many houses are brutally destroyed. So many bodies are under
Right.
the
So
destruction.
to give them a chance to see if they can find the hostages.
To find the hostages,
Right.
who's alive.
Because it's
who's
not just Hamas who are holding.
It's not only
Right.
Hamas is holding the total hostages.
Right.
That is one. Second, to give assurance of 60 days. This 60 days allowing the aid to enter and allowing the ceasefire and taking out the Israeli soldiers out of the cities, which is congested, not to allow the people back home, just to maintain the 60 days ceasefire for more negotiation.
Right.
Which
Okay,
I
the
believe,
third one, because we're running out of time.
Which I believe
Right.
it will
What's the
take
third
place.
point?
The third point, it is to begin discussing or negotiation about the hostages. And also, mind you, there is 15,000 hostages from Gaza within this year.
Right.
Under the
fourth thing?
The fourth thing, it is to let Philadelphia and Rafah border being running under,
To
under
bring
the
aid
United
in.
Nations or a Palestinian
Right.
Authority back.
Right. And what's the fifth thing?
I can't remember
Okay.
the fifth one, but it's all.
Well, it
Also,
sounds promising.
it sounds-
and if
it
there's
sounds-
another development, please come back and talk to us
Yeah,
about it.
we can do that.
Thank
That
you
one,
very
thank
much
you.
indeed. Ramzi Abu Ibrahim heads the Palestinian community here in Abuja.